Good morning, Playmaker.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you guys doing, man? It's all good, man. It's all good right now when the Cowboys play like they played last Sunday.
How satisfying was that victory lap? Not only that they won, but that you could shove it in other people's faces.
Well, it's not just that they won. It's also how they won. You know what I'm saying? That was, and I said this on TV. They really, that was close to playing the perfect game. The perfect game. You saw every bit of what they have on the field. You saw some power. You saw some explosiveness. You saw domination on defense. That was pretty much as close as you can get to them playing the perfect football game Sunday.
I heard you, Michael, last week with Sean and RJ say that Justin Jefferson, you were told he's just as competitive as you were whenever you were playing. I heard that story. I thought it was great. When I watch Micah, I feel like I'm watching another version of Michael Irvin from when I was a kid watching you play.
And Michael has that too. And I'm going to tell you something. The last couple games, the last two games, I don't know. I say, and Ryan and a lot of guys who were talking about this, it was like, man, what are they trying to do? Are we overthinking this? You got to leave Mike dictating. Don't let nobody dictate what you do with Michael Parsons. You let him be the dictator. You see what I mean? And that's what they did. They got back to it last week, letting him dictate on that line of scrimmage, letting him get to the quarterback. And when he's doing that, nobody's better. Nobody's better. He is that great competitor also. You're right about that.
Now, as much as the Cowboys defense has shown the ability to harass passers all year long, what's your concern level for Saquon Barkley and the run defense going into tomorrow's game?
Yeah, and this worries me. Now, I say it worries me, but I just watched them play that kind of game. Now, there's no way that they can pop up and play the way they played Sunday, then turn around, and I don't know how you not perform like that again. Like, once you know that you've hit that step and you would play that way, why can't you play like that every week?
Mm-hmm.
Or very close to that every week. So, yeah, as happy as we are about what we saw Sunday, these guys have to be looking at themselves and say, why can't I play like this every week? Why can't we perform like this every week? And if we perform like that every week, then they would have a chance to do some incredible things.
Did you usually find yourself the turnaround to the Thanksgiving game to be more exciting, more stressful, more painful? Like, what was that process with the quick turnaround like for you?
All of the above, and that's what was so great about it. But also, you knew this, and think about the Detroits and all this. This is as close as you can get to a playoff game, playoff atmosphere. You're the only game on at that time. Everybody's watching you. These games were so incredible, man. We were talking about them the other day, how much I enjoyed playing on Thanksgiving. There was nothing like it. We got a chance to do it every year.
Sorry. I was going to introduce you. I was going to give you the introduction. No. Michael, we are doing a charity show today, 13 and a half hours to benefit My Possibilities. And former Texas Ranger Derek Holland is in part of the show. He would like to ask you a question.
What's going on, Mike?
Okay. Hey, what's up, buddy?
I got so I'm curious, after that loss to Green Bay, you think that was the big moment that really turned the Cowboys around, putting the chemistry together? You know, you see, obviously, it's been one game playing against the Vikings. You see the group, the camaraderie, everybody getting together, showing a lot of support, the motivation, the passion. Do you feel like that's taken the Cowboys to the next level, that going into this Giants game, I mean, we're going to see, in my opinion, another dominant game by the Cowboys against the Giants. I think the Giants are very overrated. They're not a very strong team, in my opinion, especially with the quarterback position. I just feel after that loss and hearing how Micah was saying we got to be more accountable, we got to put more on ourselves. Do you feel this is the thing that really turned the Cowboys around defensively big time when it came to the running defense?
I heard all week last week when they talked about they have to do all of these things. They got to be able to stop the run. They've given up back-to-back 200-yard days, and they can't go. a third day. I heard all of that, but I didn't necessarily buy into it. I was like, okay, now what are you going to do this week that you didn't do last week or the week before that? And they got over 200 yards. So I was so happy to see them back it up. But as happy as I was to see it, because let me tell you something, that Green Bay game was a horrific loss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was a horrific loss. And I ain't just talking about you lost to Green Bay. I'm talking about how you lost to Green Bay. Wait a minute. You're up 14, and the team is running the football, and they still run you down? Oh, my God. Do you understand how crazy that is? You're up 14. The team that you're playing against is running the football, and they still close that gap and beat you. That's the worst loss that you can have. It's not like they were running the football early and got up, and they just kept pounding and pounding. You were up by 14, and you couldn't even stop the run enough. They're eating the clock up for you, but they're getting chunk yards. That was a horrible loss. And the only thing to get that taste out of their mouth had to be a performance like they did this last Sunday. Now, the question is, how do you put toothbrush to tooth and head to pillow if you show up and play less than what you showed on the rest of the year? How do you put yourself in the bed or wake up and brush your darn teeth if you ain't going to be putting on that kind of performance when you know that's inside? That's all I'm saying.
Michael, the last Thanksgiving game I went to was 1998, the Randy Moss game. Can you talk about, I know you weren't covering him, but seeing Randy Moss for the first time in person?
We're not blaming you.
Yeah, that was. We were talking about that the other day on TV too, because I was saying I couldn't. I was old head then, and we were supposed to get Randy Moss here. Now we're battling against Randy Moss, and I had a pretty good day. I mean, if they had like 8 or 9 catches, 10 catches for 130, 40 yards, but Randy had 3 grabs, 3 grabs for 165 yards and 3 touchdowns. I was like, oh my God. Are you serious? That vexed me, man. That's the first time I came home after a game. I had to talk about putting toothbrush to tooth. I was looking in the mirror like, dude, maybe, yeah, dude. Maybe you're not the same dude anymore. My job was always to be the best receiver on the field. And when I put up that about 130, I was like, okay, you're doing pretty good here. Randy just, I said, ooh, that's different right there. Maybe that is different. Yeah, that was a hell of a game. That was a hell of a game by him.
And Mike, do you also feel after seeing this Cowboys team, do they compare to the teams you played for?
Oh.
Boy, that would be, I wish they could compare to those teams right now. I wouldn't say that I see that right now. But I saw it Sunday. I saw it now, if they can string some games together like that, then you can start throwing them up there with those teams. But you can't put them up there right now. We need more than just one showing like that.
Agreed.
Now, speaking of those teams, we're running auctions all day to go along to raise money for My Possibilities. We have autograph stuff from Emmitt Smith and Troy Aikman. People clearly need to go bid on those items, right?
Absolutely. Those are my boys, man. Those guys. Hey, listen, man. You those are 2 of the best to ever do it, and getting anything from them, they're still vibrant, still active. Troy's the best at what he does, and Emmitt's all-time leading rusher. Whatever you get of his, it's not going anywhere because nobody will ever get that record. Nobody will ever get that all-time leading rusher. We won't even keep a running back around long enough to get it.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. We appreciate you jumping on with us, and obviously, go Cowboys.
Absolutely, buddy. Hey, happy Thanksgiving to everybody.